We know ourselves. I must say that, okay, to round up, since that's what you want me to do, I will do that. And I must thank particularly my wife, whose freedom and independence I encroached upon while she was in office. And she has been very tolerant and accepted my encroachment and extended her help to my colleagues. Distinguished.
One thing with Nigerian public or masses is they easily move on. Trust me, what happens in Nigeria, if 1/10 of it happens in countries like Cameroon, Egypt, or other African countries to say the least, hell would have been let loose. But in Nigeria, things happen, people are killed, houses are burnt, fuel subsidy removed. A lot of things happen that affect the masses directly, that show that the elite don't just care. After a little noise, the people just move on. The presidential election has come and gone. The election was flawed by international communities, and both people at home. Even the child in the womb knows that the election of 2023 was flawed. But the current president of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who rose to power through that bad election, removed fuel subsidy in a flash, arrested central bank governor in a flash, arrested the chairman of EFCC in a flash, ambushed the organized labor that would have spoken for the people. Hopefully, Nigerian masses are quickly moving on. But let me bring you back to the tribunal. To me, it's a needless distraction. It's all a game. Remember the Ngige magic in Anambra State? When Ngige became governor by error, and the 3 years that he stayed in Anambra State was like a miracle. Through him, the people got to know, the people of Anambra State got to know that a lot of money was coming into the state. And we are previously mismanaged by previous governors. But when Ngige, Tinubu is about replicating. But it's a needless distraction. Lest we forget, the chairman of EFCC Commission was appointed by APC government. MFLE, the chairman of a terrible governor of Central Bank, who introduced the monetary policy, the Naira repainting, was retained and championed by APC government. A policy regime that was a scam, even though well intended. But one would have expected, having done that immediately, that those behind those scams would have been arrested. That is when we know that the government means business. Nobody has been arrested in murder. So if somebody wants to tackle corruption headlong, I would have suggested that or anticipated that when you remove the subsidy, those people responsible that have benefited from that blood money would have been arrested by now, cooling their heads. What are we doing? What are we celebrating? Is it distracting us from the mad election, from the tribunal that is going on, that everything is being unmasked? It's a question that I want you, the masses, and the subscribers and viewers of this channel, to help me answer. Are we going in the right direction? Remember that PW said, we are interrogating the system. This is Open Whispers channel. Remember to subscribe, hit the like button, and please share the video. Some other thing I want to hit on the nail before we say goodbye today is the complacency of Obi's lawyers. Before we
to INEC, and we didn't file the application within time. With regards to the purported technical glitch
how it affects only presidential and did not affect National Assembly. And in the wisdom of their lordships, they say the application ought to have been filed earlier. And so because it was not filed earlier, the characteristically as Judas should do, they struck it out. So
before we help other people to their untimely grave, because I know that immediately after the 2023 presidential election in Nigeria, a lot of people took their lives. I am not talking about those who were killed, those whose houses were bombed, those who were tribally abused because of the tribe they come from. Mind you, as I speak with you today, the Lagos state government is carrying what a lot of people think is the vendetta mission of destroying shops
all
of the
this pressure you are seeing now will go down at any moment. They came in numbers. And issued the quick notice that everybody should remove all his property to this environment with immediate effect.
Of destroying shops of the Igbos, or those who they think voted for the current presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi. I don't know if it is correct. The Lagos state government is coming out to say that those buildings have been marked for demolition since 2016. But the question is, why now? From 2016 to now, why did the government wait until now to take action? Help me to answer that question. But back to the Presidential Election Tribunal, where the lawyers of P2B and Labour Party, in my opinion, are not really doing the things I expected them to be doing. They say they have 50 witnesses to be presented. So far, they've only presented a handful. And those that have presented, especially the mathematician who did his job in 2 states of Benue and Rivers out of the 36 states, to me, maybe random sampling. But is it enough to prove your case in the court? I'm not a judge, but I'm just asking, what is the implication? You were supposed to interrogate the ICT department of the level of the INEC, but because of one error or the other, the judge is ruled that you didn't do what you're supposed to do. Is complacency setting in? Is overconfidence making you to lose this case that everybody thinks is a home run? To me, whether Peter Obi wins the tribunal case or not, whether Atiku wins it or not, we are interrogating the system. Because when you listen to this, the confession of Senator, or the former Senator Bukachua, that through the wife who was the president of Nigerian APEAL Court, that he helped a lot of his colleagues. And also going by the confession or what Rocha Sokorocha, the former senator from Imo State, said about how
Nigeria is a great country. And to those of you who are colleagues, including you, Mr. Senate President, you know you're a very smart politician. How you came back is yet another political book to discuss. Sorry? How you came back is another chapter in our political history. How I came back from where? How you return to the Senate as a senator will open another chapter of great discussion in our political book. Because I was there in the field with you running for president. I never knew how you were able to meander and return and leaving some of us. Next time you must teach me how to do that. It was a treacherous journey because we had to go through the courts.
About how Ahmed Lawal contested to be the candidate of APC and failed. And at the same time, he was returned as a senator. What is the implication of all this in our judicial system? And what is the implication of any hope in this current tribunal sitting? Are we just wasting our time going through the normal charade of after every election we rush to the court and at the end of the day nothing will be done? Is there any hope? To me, I've always remained silent. We are interrogating the system. It's not as if we hope to see any miracle that will be performed by the tribunal. Going by all these confessions, I believe that the system has been strongly compromised. I'm not expecting anything wonderful to come out from the system. But I want obedience though. Do not raise anybody's hope. Going by all this revelation, these judges are part of the Nigerian system. In as much as you want to blame them, do not give hope to another young person who is hoping that the right thing could be done in Nigeria, so that when the tribunal or the Supreme Court finally give their verdict as expected, no other person will take their lives because they hoped in a system that has already been messed up. This is Open Whisper saying, be well, do good work, and please do keep in touch. See something, say something, and do something. Nigeria shall be great again. Cheers.